You wonder whatever happened to luxury cars. Once they were for an elite few, and now they're as common as peas. They rise and fall on the promise of status and prestige. But you know, they leave room for the next generation. A new vision, more idealistic. The time has come, the walrus said. The time has come. Infinity.
The luxury division of Nissan, Infiniti, has been around since 1989, shortly after Lexus also entered the market behind Acura, who did that in 1986. Infiniti's sales volume absolutely exploded in the mid-2010s, but since then has completely fallen off the cliff. Where does Infiniti go from here? Today we'll try to find out. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm Kirk. I talk about Japanese and Korean cars. I've been doing this series on what comes next for X brand, or where does this brand go from here. I've covered Acura, covered Honda, did Lexus, did Kia. Infiniti is next. I've made so many videos in the past few years talking about where does Infiniti have a place in the future with electrification. It's really hard to find out. It's still hard to find out, but we'll give it our best shot here in mid-2022. Look into the future of Infiniti. If you're into that sort of coverage, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss where does Nissan go from here, where does Toyota go from here, where does Mazda, where does Hyundai, etc. All right, so let's step back. Not in 2022, because absolutely nothing has happened for Infiniti here in 2022, other than maybe some like crystallizing of their ideas into the future. 2020 was rough, 2019 was rough. But in 2021, we got the redesign of the QX60. It's traditionally their best-selling vehicle, the 3-row crossover. I actually haven't driven it yet. I've driven the Pathfinder, the new one with the 9-speed auto, the V6. It's bigger, better than ever. And that QX60 is supposed to be as well. I think the design on the QX60 is a home run, besides those chrome, weird, fake exhaust tip things that have no place on the back of a luxury vehicle. But the QX60 at least is being put into production, and I'm happy for the dealers because they didn't have like any in 2021, 2020. They didn't have any QX60s to sell. So it's good to see those vehicles back on the market for the brand because that is a part of its lifeblood. We also had a new model in 2021. I just reviewed it this past year in 2022, which is the QX55. It's a coupe version of their Q50, which is also one of the best-selling vehicles. Problem is, it's very expensive for what it is. It just got more expensive for 2023. And it is a gorgeous vehicle, but it has a CVT. And that's a tough sell for a vehicle that costs like $50,000. That ended 2021, the highlights of 2021. Nothing happened in 2022. 2023, I'm not expecting anything else to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get something in the form of a new vehicle or just some excitement, some new vehicles that are coming. But I don't expect anything to happen in 2023 other than the cancellation of one of their longtime coupes, the Q60, which, you know, is kind of like that G37 sort of coupe vehicle that we all knew and loved. G35 coupe, right? That we all knew and loved in the 2000s and 2010s. Q60 Red Sport, rest in peace. Q50 will live on maybe for another year. So we're already into 2024 because nothing has happened in 2022 and 2023. It's not good. So their sales have completely bottomed out at this point as we go into 2024. That's when we'll finally get a redesign of what's my favorite Infiniti, which is a QX80, badass V8 body-on-frame tank based off the Nissan Patrol, based off the Nissan Armada. The problem is with the QX80 is that other than its incredible good looks, it shares just about everything with the Platinum version of the Armada, which I reviewed. And I'm like, why would I spend more money when this is the same vehicle? It's built in Japan. Everything is pretty much identical to the QX80 as it is on the top of the line Armada. So hopefully the QX80 can distance itself from the Armada. Powertrains, I have no idea. You would think the V8 would be going by the wayside because Lexus is getting rid of their V8s, besides the twin turbo V8 and the next supercar that they're building. But yeah, QX80, V8 gone is my guess. They don't have an engine to replace it. They have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6. That's not going to fit the bill. They could put the 400 horsepower twin turbo 3 liter V6 that we see in the Q50, Q60 Red Sport, as well as the new Z model. But I just don't think there's enough torque. It only has 350 pound-feet of torque. So V8 could live on, but if it doesn't, I have no idea what replaces it. And that's 2024. So we're already 2 years out from now, and only one thing has happened for Infiniti. Again, take it with a grain of salt because these are just my estimations. And 2025 could be the turning point for the brand finally. Gosh, if they're still around, right? Fingers crossed, Infiniti. I don't see why they wouldn't be, because parent company Nissan isn't going to completely abandon them, even though it's going to be a tough next few years. The light hasn't been on me the whole time. Even though by 2025, it'll be a really rough past 5 to 7 years for Infiniti dealers. But if they can hold out that long, they got some treats coming for them in 2025. So we'll get a refresh of the QX60, the one that debuted right in 2021. Now it could get a refresh in 2024 as well. The QX50 will get a redesign, and there's possibilities it could have an electrified option to it as well, meaning like fully battery electric. Time will tell, but QX50 still needs to go on. The VC turbo is a gem. Love that engine. Great power, great torque. It just needs to have a freaking automatic transmission. Give me the 9-speed that Nissan and Infiniti use, just tune it to better performance in the QX50. I'd be okay with that. And also, Infiniti wants to be mostly electric by the end of 2020s, right? And so they'll have an electric sedan. We've been teased this, and this is supposed to be replacing the Q50. And I'm guessing the Q50, rest in peace, for 2024, and the Q60 in 2023 before it. So the electric sedan will be built in the Canton, Mississippi plant alongside of a Nissan version as well. Hopefully the Infiniti version of the sedan, it gets more power, more luxury, and is a very handsome vehicle. Now the electric sedan is supposed to be inspired by the QS Inspiration concept. I think that's what it was. It's a gorgeous looking sedan from a few years back. We just haven't seen any design cues from that in any vehicles yet. So that vehicle for sure is happening in 2025 with incredible looks inside and out. There's also talk that they might bring back the QX30, or not necessarily the QX30, but successor to it, maybe called QX40, because then you have 40, 50, 60, right? Possibly 70 and 80. We'll talk about the 70 here in a little bit if they want to call it that. Subcompact crossover like the GLA/Infiniti QX30 was. And that could be coming in 2025 as well, but that's just a big question mark for me. 2026, we have some more things more than likely coming for Infiniti. QX55 could be on the axe for 2026. That's what I'm hearing. We also should be getting an electric crossover. If we're getting an electric sedan in 2025, a crossover version of it, in theory, should be coming in 2026. Now, this should be based off of the 2019 QX Inspiration concept SUV looking thing. Also an awesome looking vehicle. Hopefully that comes in 2026, if not earlier, right? Because I mean, Acura is a little bit slow when it comes to getting their first EV out. Infiniti is going to be 2 years later before they get their first electric crossover out. Yes, I'll have the sedan electric in 2025, but name of the game, at least right now in 2022, is crossovers. Also in 2026, we're supposed to get a coupe-like version of the QX60, probably called the QX65, based off of the QX55 being based off the QX50. Could they name it the QX70? Probably, but QX65 makes sense to me. And then that's it. That's it for 2026. Any further out is just complete. I can't see anything in my crystal ball for Infiniti. So 2022, 2023 is going to be super rough. I mean, it has been for Infiniti based off the sales. 2024, we finally get a new QX80. 2025, we get that electric sedan, a new QX50, and a refresh of the QX60. And then 2026, a new electric crossover and a coupe version of the QX60. But man, even with this roadmap, I'm just really uncertain where Infiniti's future is going to be. How successful are they going to be? Nissan's going to have electric variants of some, if not all, of the Infiniti models. So how much room is there going to be on the top end? EVs are already expensive. So if the Nissan EV sedan, for example, is 40 to 50K, maybe less, maybe 35 to 45K, are people going to spend 45 to 55K on the same car just with an Infiniti badge and nicer materials? It might be worth it. I mean, that's kind of what they do already. I mean, it's kind of what all the Japanese luxury brands do, right? They take what they have from their mass market brands, they make it as nice as possible, improve the build quality, improve the fit and finish, and just make it a quieter, more luxurious experience. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just worried for Infiniti a little bit more so than I am definitely for Lexus, because Lexus has shown us a lot more of its future than Infiniti has. And Acura, I have no worries about Acura in the future as well. In 2024, they'll come out with their own EV, and they have lots of aspirations for the future. Infiniti, I guess it's been since 2019 since we've seen those amazing concepts, and not a whole lot since. Gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed our peek into the future of Infiniti, hit the like button. If not, just hit the like button to keep afloat Infiniti for the next few years before new product starts coming. It's going to be rough. Anyways, subscribe for more Infiniti news. I'll bring it to you guys here first and foremost. Catch you in the next video. And thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and peace out.
We've paid so much money for so long. Maybe the time has come for sanely priced luxury cars and a new set of luxury values, not based on what you can afford to pay, but on what's reasonable to expect in terms of performance and comfort. That's a new concept in luxury cars. It's called Infiniti. You have a natural unconscious rhythm when you drive, a flow of intentional and unintentional movement as you settle in behind the wheel and accelerate to cruising speed, as you tune the radio and grip the steering wheel. Now, a true luxury car can anticipate those movements, accommodate them, respond easily and predictably to them. That's the nature of Infiniti. You are connected to the car. The car is connected to an engine, a suspension system. The car fits in the road, which fits in the landscape. And when all of this, the will of the driver, the ability of the car, the feel of the road, when all of that is one thing together, then you get a sense, a true idea of luxury. Infiniti. The feeling is calming, comfortable. There's some inner sense of satisfaction. It's like holding a well-made, perfectly balanced tool. The joy is feeling connected to it. That's the idea. That's the sense of it. And that's what it feels like to drive one. Infiniti.